Hello artists, and welcome to your first official virtual assignment. Today's topic is line. If you haven't had a chance to do so, please go to our website to review it. There's going to be a link in the comments below. You have 1 week to complete this assignment and then send me a picture via email or Class Dojo with your name, grade, room number so I can give you credit. All right, let's get started. All right, so some supplies you're gonna want to use today. We've got a piece of paper, any regular computer paper will do, a pencil, some markers, and then I kind of have some optional supplies, one of which would be a ruler. Don't worry if you don't have a ruler exactly, you can use something else that has a straight edge. Or just an extra piece of paper that we can fold and use that straight edge there. And a paintbrush. If you don't have a paintbrush, don't worry, we're not actually painting today. What I can do is I can take a little bit of time at the end of this video and just kind of leave it there so you can pause it and look at it. But we're going to be doing some contour line drawing. So let's get started. Okay, so when we're doing a contour line drawing, basically what I'm looking for is an outline of the object. Try and do it with one continuous line, meaning don't pick up the pencil. What you're gonna do is first, without even using your pencil, you're gonna use your eye and look along the edge of the whole object. The whole entire thing. You can go down, a couple lines are darker than others in the bristles here. You can even see some details here, some diagonal lines, some straight lines, some writing, a couple of screws here, some paint, and some texture on the wood of the handle. So, and of course some writing here. So now that you've looked at it and observed it, you're gonna do that again, slower, and with a pencil. Now, every time your eye moves, your pencil's gonna move that same direction, okay? And you're not gonna pick it up. You might wanna practice a couple times on the back of your paper, lightly in pencil, before we flip it over to the final product. So, I'm gonna show you a couple practice runs. Choose an edge or a corner to start while you're looking at it. Okay, and as your eye moves, like I'm gonna go down here, I see some bristles here moving, your pencil's gonna move, and it gets stiff there. Now, in this video, at some points, I am gonna speed it up. I am not actually gonna be drawing super fast. It's just the time being warped, so you don't have to sit there wasting your time watching me. But notice how actually slow I'm going. Now, really, if it goes off the page, like mine just is very close to doing, you can pick up your pencil then and just continue where you think it would go. Remember, yours isn't gonna be perfect. Mine's not gonna be perfect. These aren't meant to be perfect. These are meant to show that we're studying with our eye the object that we're going to be creating. Easy here to speed up, try and slow down. And really, you can kind of take a step back and realize what you've missed. Start on top of a point and keep going. Here you can kind of pick up your pencil more. I would just say kind of limit yourself to how often you do. Try your best to continue a line on top of a line you've already started. We want it to look really unified. A little sloppy, but that's okay, because this is just practice, and that's really all I'm looking for is effort here. Another thing I want to point out to you is, because my camera is up above my working space, you see the paintbrush flat and kind of all even. But because I'm sitting over here looking at the paintbrush this direction, my view is a little bit more like that. So my drawing is gonna look a little different from your drawing if you're gonna be looking at the paintbrush flat, whereas I'm looking at the paintbrush kind of at an angle. And that's okay. Okay, so here I'm showing you how I am standing up the paintbrush, so that way I can look at it from the angle I want to. So you're not going to be able to see the paintbrush while I'm drawing it, you're just going to be seeing my hand doing the drawing. But I wanted to show you that I'm looking at it standing up and kind of angled right around the bottom of the bristles there, so it looks like it's going to be painting something. Okay, I finished my practice. It's on the back, my warm-up, and now I'm gonna go for my final. So I flipped it over. I have decided to draw on my paper vertically instead of horizontally. It's up to you, whatever you decide to do. But now I'm gonna start that drawing. Now this time, a little trickier, you're not gonna do it in pencil. You're going to do it in marker, but that kind of makes it a little more difficult for us because you can't erase it. And you gotta be careful about smudging it too. So going slow is gonna be really important. Remember to look with your eyes first. Decide at what point you wanna look at it. If it's at the top of the paintbrush, you're gonna wanna start at the top of the page. If it's at the bottom of the paintbrush, of course, lower to the bottom so you have enough room all over your paper. And we're just gonna go for it. Now that we're on the bristles, what I don't want to see is a marker just going up and down, up and down, up and down, coloring it in like you would for hair or something. What I want you to really focus on is remembering that this is an outline. Okay, so every line I draw isn't exactly the bristle, it's the edge of the bristle. So each strand that comes out is its own little line, and I'm going around it when I'm drawing my lines. Down here they're kind of bent, but then they straighten out. Now when you play with the lightness of the marker, it kind of feels like you're picking it up off the page, but not quite. I'm putting lighter pressure because I want my lines to be thinner down here than they are over there. Now, if you're not totally happy with yours, don't give up on it. Remember that this is just a study. You're just training your eye and your hand to look at things at the same time. So don't worry if you don't love it. Stick with it. We're gonna finish this out together. Now, we're gonna add a little border. This part I want you to do in pencil because we're not gonna go all the way around the edge. We're gonna kind of zoom in the border so it's like the paintbrush is coming off out of its box. Notice how large I drew my paintbrush. It's gonna help if you drew yours nice and big too. So you're gonna take your ruler. If you don't have a ruler, then just another piece of paper folded. You're gonna use that crease to draw your straight lines. And we're gonna kind of eyeball it, meaning you're gonna estimate where you want your border to be. You want opposite sides to be pretty even, but you also want a little bit of the paintbrush at some point to be sticking out. So see how you can see it on this side of my paper? First I'm gonna check and make sure that the distance between my straight edge and the corner of the paper seems about the same as the other side. It looks like I can angle that a little bit. And that's what I mean by eyeballing, just kind of guessing where you want it. And light as light can be in pencil, because you're gonna want to erase this later. Gently draw your line. Stop. Once you get to your paintbrush, continue on the other side. Light, 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 light. And you're gonna do that to all 4 sides. You get to decide where you want this border. Okay. Now, your paintbrush doesn't have to be coming out of every single side. It can if you want, but 1 or 2 sides is all I'm really looking for. Now, top to bottom doesn't always have to be the same. I think I'll maybe want to see that it's even, so I'm going to flip it over. Maybe do it a little more like this. Awesome. Now, if you did go inside your paintbrush, you're going to want to go back and erase that. And then these boxes in the corners, you're going to want to erase. Would be helpful if you had a nice eraser, but we make do with what we got. So if all you got is a smudgy pencil eraser, then by the time you're done and finished and stand a couple feet away, you won't even notice. Or you can do a little design in the outside of the border to cover it up. Be gentle while you're erasing. You don't want to crinkle up your paper. Okay. Now we trace nice and slow. Hold off on the bottom. I just want to add an option here. You can go back with colored markers and at the base add some blotches of color so it looks like you're painting with the paintbrush. But if you're not feeling it, you do not have to. I think I'll skip out. Okay, and then you're gonna choose the side and bottom, either right side and bottom or left side and bottom, and we're gonna go back and make those lines really thick. So I'm gonna hold my marker on its side now and go right against it, and we're gonna give it some weight. From here, if you want to add some color, feel free to do so. You can color inside the box, you can color outside the box, you could color the paintbrush if you wanted, but I'm a pretty big fan of the classic just black and white, but it is up to you, whatever you feel interested in doing. And there you are. Don't forget to sign it. That's how I sign my papers. And then take a picture of it, email it to me, name, grade, room number. Good job.